Hi, it's me again. And yeah, there's another TV license story in the news. There's more and more coming at the minute, and there's a lot of stories about the TV license fee. And it's good. It's good. It shows the movement is growing and pressure is building on our culture, media, and sport, whatever, secretary, Lucy Fraser. And she's having to talk about it a bit more. I'm not liking everything I'm hearing, but at least she's having to talk about it a bit more. And it seems to be at the top of her to-do list now, if she does anything. Do government ministers do anything? Do they? I don't know. But let's have a look at this anyway, shall we? Criminal sanctions for TV licence non-payment increasingly unfair, says Minister. And that was the Culture and Media Secretary, Lucy Fraser, that said that. She goes on to say, look, Lucy Fraser expressed concerns over the current system when pressed by Conservative MPs to decriminalise non-payment and switch to a civil enforcement system. Why does it need to be enforced? If we can get it decriminalised, then enforcement's meaningless anyway. How many millions will you throw at enforcement in a civil system for something that's not a criminal offence to not pay for? No one will pay for it and everyone will ignore you. I mean, most people now ignore your demands for, well, most people in this sphere anyway, ignore your demands for money. If it's decriminalised, everyone's going to ignore your demands for money and you're just going to throw millions away in civil enforcement and the licence fee is going to kill itself anyway, just probably a bit quicker. Good. She added the review of the BBC funding model will consider whether a mandatory licence fee with criminal penalties is still appropriate. What is there to consider? It's not appropriate. It's 2023. Everyone's struggling. The cost of everything's going through the roof. People's rent is going through the roof. Mortgage renewals are going through the roof. The cost of food, fuel, everything. It's insane. And you want to criminalise people for 159 quid a year to watch television. Their one escape. And you think that's not, you think that needs debate about whether that's still appropriate. Do you? Do you, Lucy Fraser? Really? I know you've probably got bigger fish to fry being a government minister. I'm sure you've got many meetings and many lunch meetings and cutting of ribbons and stuff that you have to think about also. But it doesn't take a lot to consider whether this is still appropriate. Really, come on, does it? So Conservative MP Philip Davis of Shipley asked, does the Secretary of State believe that people should be forced by the criminal law to buy a Sky TV package even if they don't want one? It's a good question. It's a good question. And if not, why should they be forced to buy a BBC licence fee if they don't want one? Fair play. I can't argue with that, Philip Davis. Ms. Fraser replied, he will know that the department is considering all possible funding options to ensure the BBC's long-term sustainability because the digital world is indeed changing. If you've never believed that the BBC is government-controlled before, does that not just say it there? Why is the BBC's long-term sustainability a problem of the government? We have other public service broadcasters in this country, in Channel 4 and Channel 3. Is Channel 5 one? I have to check on that. Why do they put the BBC up on a pedestal and make out like it's above competing in the standard commercial market that the other channels must compete in? Why? Why? The BBC is not above anything. If anything, it's below it with some of its behaviour, right? So just cut the licence fee and let the BBC stand on their own 2 feet. The government should not be concerned in the BBC's long-term sustainability. The people who should be concerned about the BBC's long-term sustainability are the people at the top of the BBC, not the government, because it's their jobs on the line if they cock it up, which they probably would if they didn't have the licence fee, and that's why they fight so hard to keep it. I mean, the main point that's been brought up in all these articles in a minute that's getting the news and getting it moved around is the prosecutions of women. I said it in another video, didn't I? Because a lot of these stories have come about from that Josie Ann from Basildon who won the case against the BBC for being prosecuted for something she shouldn't have been prosecuted for, blah, blah, blah. And this is what's caused a lot of this debate. And I think it said here, where was it? It was 18% of all prosecutions for females in 2021 were TV licence fee related. The world we live in is 18% of prosecutions for all females TV licence fee. It's absolutely crazy. This is why the aliens won't talk to us, because we're prosecuting poor people for watching television in this country. I said, didn't I say, that we're going to hear something. Something's going to come about this year. And if it's this Josiane's case that causes it, great, great. I don't care what brings it about, but this has got to be changed. How is it a criminal matter to pay the BBC money every year to watch other telly channels? Madness. It's madness. What do you think about this? Do you think the BBC should be concerned with the long-term sustainability of the BBC? I don't. Just let the BBC stand on our own 2 feet in a commercial market. The BBC will be better for it, and us as viewers will be better for it, because the BBC will be incentivized to make and put out better stuff. There's no reason why they can't do it. There's no reason. Let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. That way, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon when I ta-da.